You work for a large company, meaning like several hundred to thousands of employees, and that company is in the market for a new phone system. And as you're looking around at the different vendors, the three names you've heard of the most are Zoom Phone, Cisco Webex, and Teams Phone, Microsoft Teams Phone. But you're wondering, which of these companies is the best fit for a large company in 2025, 2026? Well, my name is Mike Smith. I'm the president of AeroCom. Let's put our heads together on this. But first, if your large company needs a quote or a demo on any of these service providers, or you want my recommendations on additional service providers to quote for your phone system, again, and you're a medium to large size company, don't just call these companies directly. I will get you much better pricing. I will get you introduced to better salespeople to work with. I'll oversee the sales process, make sure you guys get the best pricing, the best features, all that good stuff. Just reach out and contact me. Send me an email, give me a call. It won't cost your company anything to work with me, and I will help you guys make a lot better decision in a fraction of the time. Join the thousands of other IT professionals who have used me to help their company shop this stuff. More information on that at the end of the video. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel so you don't miss any of my weekly videos that I put out. And go check out our website, AeroCominc.com, where you can compare service providers based on features. You can watch videos of them, read summaries of different service providers, all kinds of good stuff on there. Go check it out. All right, so in order to compare Zoom Phone versus Teams Phone versus Cisco Webex, I'm going to give you 5 major differentiators. So I've been selling these solutions for many years. I'm a broker. I've been doing this for over 20 years, and I know the industry inside and out. And I can sell all these different solutions. But there's a bunch of differences between these different solutions if you really start getting in the weeds, but I know you guys don't want me to get that far in the weeds on this video. We want to make it fairly short. So I'm going to give you my 5 biggest differentiators or categories of differentiators when you're looking at these 3 different service providers. Number 1 is going to be, which Microsoft 365 licensing does your company have? That is going to make a big difference when you're comparing these 3 service providers. Why? Because if your company has E5 licensing for Microsoft 365, it is going to make Microsoft Teams phone system significantly less expensive than any other phone system in the market that your company could purchase, let alone these 2. I'm talking any competitor in the marketplace. But that's only if your company has a Microsoft 365 license in it being an E5 license. If not, if your company has an E3 or an E1 or a business premium, business standard license, then the pricing gets a lot different. More information on that later in the video. But I just want to throw that out up front right away. There's obviously other factors which I'm about to cover. This isn't the only factor, but that's a major differentiator, is which Microsoft 365 licensing does your company have? Do you already have an E5 license? Now, that's not to say your company should go buy an E5 license, because going from an E3 to an E5 license will cost your company a lot more money per user than the difference in pricing that we're talking about. So that's not what I'm saying. I don't think, hey, go out and get the E5 licensing right now. That will change everything, because you're going to pay maybe $20, $30 more per user just for the E5 license. And the difference in pricing that we're talking about is maybe more like $10 per month per user. And if all that sounds really confusing, just reach out, contact me, send me an email, give me a call if you're a medium to large size company. I can make that a lot less confusing. Okay, the second differentiator is the question, what is your company's Teams adoption or Zoom adoption today when it comes to things like instant messaging, collaboration, conferencing? So if your company is using Teams a lot today, or Zoom a lot today, or Webex, which I don't think any of you are probably using Webex a lot today for these things, but if you are, that's obviously going to be a big differentiator and a big decision factor when it comes to which phone system your company should purchase, because that just makes it more seamless if your company is already using something a lot today to just tack on a phone system onto that platform as opposed to going a totally different direction. Now, if your company's not using any of those heavily, if you're not doing instant messaging at all, or if you're not doing a lot of conferencing, then again, the competition's still wide open. The third area of differentiation is going to come down to features. Now, this is a rabbit hole we could dive really deep into, because features and capabilities of phone systems, it all depends on how your company's using it. But the big ones you're going to see differentiation on is number one, call center or contact center features. Zoom is probably going to win that one. So Cisco Webex is a little bit behind Zoom, and Teams is really far behind all of those. Teams doesn't really have a call center, contact center solution. They do have the Queues app for Teams, which is a somewhat of a halfway jump into contact center, but not quite, and it's pretty clunky. If your company has a call center or contact center, especially if you're a large company and you have maybe a small call center or contact center, that's a great solution to put all those into one bucket. Put your call center software and your phone system software with one service provider so that everything's on a single platform. And in that case, Zoom would probably be your best bet. But there's other features to consider as well. Another big one is AI. Zoom includes AI call summaries and an AI assistant with all your standard users for your business phone system. That's pretty slick. That's not what Microsoft offers. With Microsoft, obviously, you have to pay for Copilot for AI to be included with Teams Phone. With Cisco Webex, again, something extra you'd have to add there. So AI is a little different depending on if that's something you're looking for with all the different providers. Something else you want to think about is integration. If your company wants to integrate your phone system with your CRM or ERP software, then integration's something that's going to really differentiate the service providers. For instance, Microsoft Teams Phone does not have an open API, which causes a lot of problems with integrations. Obviously, that's not the best solution to use if you really want to have a solid integration with something that's not in the Microsoft ecosystem. Like if you want to integrate with Dynamics, hey, Teams Phone will do a great job. But if you want to integrate with something like Salesforce or HubSpot or Zendesk, now it's getting outside of the area of Microsoft's sweet spot. And lastly, call recording. Call recording is something that if your company is doing today, you want to continue to do it moving forward. Does your company need things like compliance call recording with automatic redaction? Well, all those things should factor in there. A nice thing, Zoom has unlimited call recording, unlimited storage on call recording as well with their phone system. So that might be something that interests you there. Also, analytics is something that you might want to go into. So that's another feature that I forgot about. So analytics is something that you might want to think about. So those are a small handful of features that really differentiate the service providers. So depending on how much your company needs those features might really dictate which service provider is the best for your organization. Okay, long term, I get a lot of questions about this. Is customers will ask me, hey, which provider do I think is going to be around the longest? So if they're going to jump on this ship of a phone system, is this company going to be around for a long time? Or are they going to have to do this thing all over again in 3 to 5 years? Well, all the service providers we're talking about today, Zoom Phone, Teams Phone, Cisco Webex, all of them have a very good reputation when it comes to service quality and customer service, so they're all doing a really good job. I think they are going to be around quite a while. Cisco is the one caveat to that statement because the way Cisco has companies buying their system is a little different. In the last couple of years, Cisco shifted. In order to buy Cisco Webex, you have to go through a third-party integrator. You have to buy it from somebody else, not Cisco directly, typically. So because of that distribution model, I don't know if Cisco is going to grow quite as fast as other service providers out there like Teams Phone, Zoom Phone, and some of the others out there. I just don't know if that distribution model is going to work that well long term. So I don't know if they're going to be huge in 5 years, but who knows? What do I know, right? But that's just what I see on the street. But all three, long term, relatively long term speaking, 5 years or so, I think you're going to be fine with all three of these. All right, and finally, the fifth area of differentiation is cost. How much do these providers cost? Which one is going to be less expensive? I know for a large organization, this is something that obviously is a factor. Obviously, you want to get some things straight. You want to have the right global coverage, or you want to make sure that the service quality and customer service is up to par and the features match what you guys need and integration and all that stuff is a higher priority. But at the end of the day, cost does matter. Well, if your company has E5 licensing, as I mentioned earlier, Teams Phone is going to be the least expensive service solution for your phone system, no matter what. No matter which providers you look at, Teams Phone is going to be the least expensive. Why? Because half or probably more than half of the phone system cost is already being included in that E5 license, which is the Teams Phone standard licensing. For more information on that, watch my video on Teams Phone pricing. You're going to get an in-depth amount of knowledge on this. You know, to cut to the chase, Teams Phone is probably going to cost $2 to $3 per month per user for a large company with hundreds or thousands of employees. That's it. $2 to $3 per month per user. That's really inexpensive. You're not going to find a better price on that with any other service provider out there. Now, if your company does not have an E5 license with Microsoft 365, now it's a little bit more of an even playing field. And in that scenario, I would say Microsoft Teams Phone becomes the most expensive option out of these three. Probably going to end up somewhere around $13 to $15 per month per user total cost, as opposed to Zoom Phone and Cisco Webex for medium to large size companies, depending how many users we're talking about. I mean, if you're talking about thousands of users, you're going to be able to get that cost under $10 per month per user total cost. Now, if you have like a few hundred or several hundred, it might be around 10 or so with those service providers, but see what I'm talking about? They're all somewhat close, but at the end of the day, Teams Phone and Cisco Webex, Zoom Phone and Cisco Webex are going to be the least expensive options, and Teams Phone is going to be the most expensive option if your company does not have an E5 license today. All right, so again, there are a lot of other service providers out there, not just these three, so there's a lot to talk about here. So if you work for a medium to large size organization, I mean, 50 to 100 employees or more, and you have questions on all this stuff, or you want to see a demo or get pricing, don't call these service providers directly. Reach out and contact me. Send me an email, give me a call. I would love to help answer your questions, set you up with a demo with these service providers or additional service providers that I'd recommend. I've been a broker in this industry for over 20 years. So I've helped thousands of companies just like you make a lot better decision in a fraction of the time. I know this marketplace inside and out, and based on what your company needs, I will tell you the 3 or 4 best applications that your company should be using for a phone system. I'll introduce you to those companies. I'll set up a demo. I'll get you set up with the right sales reps to work with at that company. I'll be on the demo with you. I'll oversee the quoting process to make sure your company gets the best pricing possible and the best implementation possible. And the nice thing is on top of all that, your company doesn't have to pay me anything to do all this stuff. The service providers like Zoom, Cisco, Microsoft Teams, they pay me my broker fee. So your company doesn't have to pay me anything. So there's no excuse not to at least reach out to me, see what I have to say. So send me an email, give me a call. It's the reason why I do these videos. It's a nice way to say thank you if you got something out of this video. I'd love to talk to you about this stuff. Also, again, another reminder, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss any of my weekly videos that I put out. And thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.